This we find out that it doesn't fit, probably. Oh, good. That's very frustrating. Welcome back, everybody. You join me in my 1994 Jaguar XJ40. There's a bit of a problem. The Alpine A9002R model CD cassette radio player has a problem in that the battery was disconnected previously when the car was in the garage. It was then subsequently reconnected and I entered the security code and nothing happened. The pads don't work anymore. Now, this is not the original Jaguar Alpine unit. There was another one that the car came with, same model, but that became completely dead. So we replaced it with a second-hand unit, this unit here. This has lasted maybe 6 years, so not too bad. There is the possibility of repair. I think there are certain services on eBay that are available which will repair this. However, there's no Bluetooth capability. The sound quality compared to modern standards isn't all that, to be honest. So we are looking to replace. So I've bought a 1-DIN fitment Pioneer CD radio Bluetooth player, and I'll be looking to fit that. It requires a special fascia plate and also a special cable kit as well to mate with the car. I'll include all of the details of those extra accessories in the description below for this video. So first of all, I'll summarise hopefully the steps that I'll be performing. Disabled the security system to off so we don't get any unwelcome alarms whilst the doors are open, and I've also disconnected the power at the rear of the battery. I have a special I think it's a copper sort of switch, you'll see, and that just isolates the power. It's quite useful. I had that I fitted that so that when the car's in storage and we want to isolate the battery, it's just easier than having to keep constantly disconnecting the positive and negative cabling from the terminals. You'll also note that there's the Jaguar Alpine CD player in there. Unusual for an XJ40 because that unit is actually a different unit compared to the subsequent X300. Summarise the steps. We've disconnected the battery, we've disabled the security system on the switch here. We're now going to loosen off this so we can get to the ashtray. We'll then look to remove the famous ski slope. There should be a couple of excuse me, there should be a couple of butterfly screw type fixtures under here, and then I should be able to gently prise that off. Oh, gear knob will go into neutral, so I need to look at doing that. And also I will have attempt to remove some of this fascia here as well. We'll need that to move down to here, take that off so we've got maneuverability to get the ski slope removed. Once I've got all that removed, there should be a number of screws underneath the ski slope which will enable us to remove this unit here. So we've got the clock and the air conditioning and ventilation controls, and we should be able to remove all of that, and also the radio CD player and cassette player. And then from there we should be able to move the cage, disconnect obviously all the wiring, and then we'll start fitting in the new accessories and also hopefully the new unit. So I've removed the two posi drive screws from here. They are just sitting down there. No need to remove the screws at the back, as the ashtray should just simply lift out like so and come away. So if I just pull that back, you'll see there's two clips there, and this will lift free like so. So just going to remove the ashtray connections. so. So they're now both removed. And now, helicopter buzzing around. And now we should be able to get access to the butterfly. So worth noting that these are, I believe, reverse threaded. Literally just unscrewed that from down here, put that up there. Now I'll move on to the other clip. That's the second butterfly headed screw removed. Now we should start to remove some of this trim here so that we can get access to laterally remove the ski slope. I'm just gently prising off the outer fascia, and you can see here we've got the sport switch connected all in there. I think that might be easier to remove that from down here and let that come through, if I can. There you go. There's the connection. Don't know if that's just coming out on screen, but there's the connection for it. I've just literally unplugged it. Now the trim and the sport switch for the transmission is free. Should now be able to unclip this trim here, gently teasing it across. I think there's some clips at the side. Feels a bit stiff on the lower one. Move that out the way. There we go. Let's move the gear shift down, and the trim has come off here. You can see there's a clip there. Looks like actually it looks like these two, I don't know if it's coming out on camera, but these two look like they've been broken. So someone's been in here before. It looks like there's only one clip, but that's fine. It's not had a problem. So now we've got plenty of access to start gently teasing ski slope. So you can feel that moving, just gently wiggle. We do need to just make sure that we clear the two screw threads that were connected with the butterflies. I'll need to be careful though, because around here is quite fragile, and what can happen if these get old is that you start applying a lot of pressure here, you start splitting the lacquer and potentially the veneer over here, which is never good. This ski slope was originally refurbished, I think maybe 2017, perhaps even 2016. Not the best job, because some of the sections were quite milky. It's a job to find people who can do this. So I've been able to get the bottom half of the ski slope free, and now you can see I'm just lifting that clear. So there are the two screws that were holding it in, and that's now safely removed. Should put that down here. Next, I will be looking to remove these screws here. So flat heads 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6, and that will enable us to bring everything forward. The screws are quite loose already, so no real dramas. Gently removing them one at a time, and then we'll be able to pull this whole unit forward and start disconnecting some of the cabling behind. So now I've taken all of the 6 screws out. I should be able to gently pull forward the unit, and hopefully tease that a bit forward more. And there we go. That's got it. It felt quite tight, to be fair. So I'm now gently moving it over. Just get some light on there to see what's going on. And we can see the loom, we can see the back of the radio, and we just need to start disconnecting a few things. There's a clip up the top here, which I'm gonna, if I can tease out. It should just pull out. So I'm not sure if that's come clear, probably not. It's just on the, it's just a thing for the air control, so that's one there. There's also one here for the central lock-in and light controls. So I'm just going to see if I can unplug that without any drama. There you go, just push down, that's the green one. There. So that now just leaves the radio unit. So we've got a CD DIN plug in here, which should just pull out. We've got an earth connection in here as well. Got the main connection for the radio unit. That should just unplug, but it may be held in. Oh yeah, here we go. So that, I'm not sure if that's come out, but that is just the antenna. So we can keep that over here. Now going to remove the main connector. Just push down the top. That unplugs okay. Now I'm going to remove the CD DIN cable. We won't actually be using that in the new unit. And now for that, it looks like to be an 8mm. So 8mm on here, and we'll undo that, and that's actually just the earth connection. And we'll follow that where to see where that goes, because we'll need to know that for when we fit the new unit. So we've moved the earth off there. There's the thread for it. Just going to put that up on there. So let's just bring this round. So just to recap, we've removed the socket plug for the climate control. We've also removed the one for the lights and central locking. We've unplugged, excuse me, we've unplugged the antenna. We've unplugged the plug for the radio CD unit, and we've also taken the CD DIN out as well. And finally, we've used an 8mm. We've got an 8mm on here just for the earth. So that's now ready to remove the radio unit, and you can see there are some sort of fascia plate down here acting as a cradle, and then you can see we've got some tabs, 2 tabs here, which if we push down should mean that the radio unit can then come out of here. So hopefully we can do that, get it out, and then we'll crack on with the next stage. So tabs just tuck under the cradle. We don't need to worry at the moment about the outer parts of the cradle or the tray. And I'm literally just pushing that through so that now the radio unit is coming out from this main dash. And you can see that we're now left with the unit here, and I just need to think about removing this cradle, because we'll have a new cradle that comes with the new radio, and there's also probably a good opportunity to clean up some of this. This is probably many years worth of dirt in here, so I think what we'll do next is remove the cradle and also clean up, ready to start fitting the new unit. So all I need to do is compress these bits here from the rear, and now just gently push the unit forward, and you can see here that we have the original cradle, which I'll keep because we do want to make this reversible. So the new radio CD unit comes with this hands-free microphone, so it's possible to make hands-free calls. Could be quite useful. So what I'm actually going to do now is loosen off the trim on the driver's side, two posi drive screws here, loosen it off, and then what I'll do is fit that onto not the steering column, but the fascia behind the steering column, and then thread the cable through, and then that will connect into the back of the unit. So we now have that bundled up, and keep that tucked away at the back, and we have our jack to go into the new unit, which I'll leave just over there. In terms of the new unit, we have this fascia plate, which I carefully move with the cleaned up unit here. You see this? So the whole idea is that that fits nicely in there, and it's coming out. So that now means we don't have any ugliness, and the new unit can sit in there. So what I'll do is I'll now fit this onto the new unit. So here's the new Alpine unit. Here's the new Pioneer unit. And all I'm going to do is slide this like so. So this fascia trim is now fitted. I've literally just pulled it over the cage, all complete. And what I'll be able to do now is slide this back on, and then I can start connecting everything up. But before I do that, I'm probably likely to fit the trim that I removed to fit the black cable jack for the hands-free calls kit. So let's do that first. So I've just done two in the bottom there, and I'll do the same at the top here to hold her in place. That's done. So I've now done the two top ones, two bottom ones, and that's not doing anything or going anywhere. So now I think it's a case of just reconnecting some of the cables up. I should just mention that we've got the standard cable set that goes in here, but these here need to be mated with the special kit, the adapter kit for the XJ6, so that we've got the compatible connectivity. So default one going into the back of the unit, that's just clipped nicely. So I'll do it here, you might get a better view. So we have that. Now I just need to marry up these ones by just matching the patterns. So here we go. So this top one here, all the pins, just slide in and click, click. And then the bottom one, make sure I've got the orientation right. 2 pins on top, 3 on the bottom, and it matches the slide. We now have them connected. Now we have our socket that we can plug into the rest of the cabling. Remember, we've got the earth, so what I'm going to do with the earth is I'm going to pair it with this, so I'll do that next. So we've assembled that, the earth's been sorted. Now we need to plug in the jack for the hands-free kit, which is done. we now should connect the loom in. Hope this is right. There's a C. This we find out that it doesn't fit, probably. So if I look at the harness here, we've got a 14-point plug on this one here, and the adapter that was sent from a supplier is actually a 20-pin. So that is not going to work. Fortunately, I've been able to find this kit from In-Car Tech, and this is, strangely enough, a 14-point plug, which is really, really good news. So we'll look to use that and connect everything up, and then we'll test the radio CD player before we start putting everything back. So that's the main harness put in. I'm now going to put in the jack for the external mic. Like so. And also I need to attach the antenna as well. This one here. We'll leave the CD player one alone, so we won't be needing that anymore. Right, that's all fully connected up. I'm going to step through the instruction on how to pair the CD unit. So first of all, it's now enabled. Let's go and connect to the main unit. Okay, Bluetooth on, allow, next. So I think we're going to go for 1-DIN audio. And sure enough, you can see a DEH S520BT, which is what this unit is. Check the 6-digit number. So what I'm going to do here, you can see on the screen, hopefully that's not coming out very well on the camera, that's now put a number for pairing. So I'm just going to check that. I'm now going to pair my phone with the device. Just adding some more permissions. So now we can see we have everything here. I can see that the time's synced up as well, so this is all good. Let's see if we can try and get some music going. Okay, I've just noticed the aerial's just gone up, so interesting. Let's have a look. I haven't got a library on here. I'm wondering if I could just get away with playing something. That seems to be working, so I'm quite happy with that. Okay, so now we're just going to finish up. Now we've tested everything, we're just going to finish up and make sure we attach the clock and also the air control units. So I'm just going to get those harnesses sorted out the way. So we've got the black and the blue ones to plug in. But I have noticed that the CD units come a little bit loose, so I'm just about to see if I can go and tease some of those tabs at the back to see if I can get that a little bit more secure. So let's have a go at that. So I'm not sure if it's come out on camera, but I've literally just bent tabs there and there at the back just to hold the unit in place, which is good. I'll now proceed to connect up the other unit. So I've got the plugs to go on. Just going to make sure I've got plenty of room for them. I'm not going to have any problems. Go down here. Let's bring them up here. Make sure it's all clear with the audio. There we go. The audio's fine. Let's keep going back. Tabs down. So, the adapter's breaking off. There we go. That's better. That's feeling a bit better. I'm quite happy with that, so I'm now going to place all the screws back. So the screws are all in place now, and I've just tightened them all up in order, so not to stress anything out. Everything's all in place. So the next step will be to refit the ski slope. So the ski slope is there. I'm going to put the butterfly clips on and screw them on under here, but I've just put in the trim in here, and I'll reconnect the switch for the transmission mode as well before I start tightening everything up there. These should just clip on, and then these should just fold in over here and clip on top of this, and then it's a case of screwing on the gear knob. So the butterfly screws are just finger tight, and everything's feeling nice and tight now. So the last remaining item to refit is the ashtray. So we've got the two prongs here which will slide in here and here, and then I just need to put the two screws in, and then we're pretty much done. So there we are. I've been able to refit the ashtray and connect the ashtray, and I've put the securing screws back in there, so everything feels nice and tight. So everything is now complete. So hopefully I should be able to just quickly test everything, make sure everything's still okay. Well, car starts, that's a good sign, and I'm now going to engage max air conditioning because it's very hot in here. And I think, apart from a bit of a clean up, I think everything's now done. So thank you very much for watching. See you for the next one.